Here, the 8th Division's 2nd 40th Battalion had resisted the Japanese invaders for 3 days. Then they were forced to surrender. But the 2nd Independent Company still fought on as guerrillas. For them, there was no supply line. Australia believed these men dead or captured. Men like George Merritt and Barney Barnes from Western Australia, and the New Zealander Kiwi Harrison. They were very much alive, living off the country with the help of friendly natives. Those are deer steaks, venison. What was good enough for Robin Hood is good enough for them. Though wounded now, Doc Wheatley has claimed 47 of the enemy. The brothers Charlie and Stan Sadler are numbered amongst the lost commandos. Lieutenant Jerry Mackenzie finds the venison tough. Captain Bernie Callanan from Victoria wishes his bootlaces were as tough. But if you have to, you can improvise. A cigarette lighter made from a cartridge clip and a piece of flint works wonders. And so does this shower. You can make almost anything from bamboo, the all-purpose plant for do-it-yourself enthusiasts. And though food may sometimes be short, it doesn't lack variety. Venison today, and it looks like crocodile steaks for tomorrow. The young crocodile is still alive. It's the natives' way of keeping him on ice until he's wanted. This is Villa Maria in Portuguese Timor. From here, the commandos raid and ambush the enemy. Frantically, the Japs hunt them. From the air, the Zero pilot can see only scrub and innocent villagers. It's ideal country for guerrillas. But if they're to survive, they must make contact with Darwin and somehow get supplies. With odds and ends filched under Japanese noses, the signalers begin to build a radio powerful enough to reach Australia. They call it, hopefully, Winnie the War Winner. Solder, melted from old gear, is caught in bamboo for use again. They raided Dili itself and shot up the town to get a car generator. Piece by piece, the odds and ends are fitted together. It's nerve-wracking work. Everything depends on it. They hurry to get the set finished in order to raise Darwin. But no such luck. Darwin did not answer. A new day. Another patrol. Its job to harass the enemy, raid his outposts, ambush his patrols. These men are going on the patrol. They're used to it and feel at home in country reminiscent of their own Australian bush. Breakfast is meager, hasty. They've far to go before the sun is high. For Alan Luby from New South Wales, today's job is routine. A raid with native allies against a village which has begun to collaborate with the Japanese. Mostly the natives are friendly to the Australians, so this is to be an easy job. Not like last month's patrol of Corporal Aikens. It had ambushed a 25-man Japanese patrol sent out to hunt down the commandos. The Australians ambushed the hunters and killed every man. This village had housed collaborators. But further along, the commandos are greeted with smiles and admiration. These people hate the invader. Sergeant Tomasetti is collecting reports about Japanese movements. The natives are the commandos' intelligence service. They like the sergeant. He makes them laugh. They're glad to tell him what they know and to entertain him while they laugh. Meanwhile, George Merritt of Western Australia is glad of a drink. This is friendly country. In another village nearby, the natives are helping to build huts for a new company headquarters. The headquarters move often to baffle enemy attempts to crush the tiny Australian force, some 300 men in all, under the command of Brigadier Veal. There's nothing fancy about the huts, but they're cool in the tropic heat and will keep out the weather. commando has a native boy, a volunteer as a servant. These two, walking on palm leaves to avoid leaving footprints for Japanese patrols to find, bring news of a native stretcher party carrying in a wounded Dutch officer. The wound is treated by Captain Dunkley, a doctor from Fremantle. With few drugs, he performs miracles. Meanwhile, the fighting patrol, now far ahead, attacks the hostile village. The Japanese flee. With the enemy vanished, the commandos stand aside and leave their allies to deal with their own countrymen. This is primitive warfare, but it saves the commandos precious ammunition. At the end, when the village is destroyed, many of the collaborators surrender. They make a pathetic spectacle, with the very old near to death, and little children. Probably none of them really understands what this war is all about. Back at the base, the signalers are still trying to get through. Suddenly, at Darwin on April the 28th, 1942, an army monitoring station picked up a strange signal. What was that? He can't be sure, but it comes again. The 2nd Independent Company is not captured. It's fighting on. The message is relayed to the signal master. It's a great moment for the commandos. But it could easily be a Jap trick to lead a relief force into a trap. So the signal master's first reaction is suspicion. While the commandos wait tensely, the signal master devises a test question. To prove your identity, give Christian name of Jack Sargent's wife. Now the men who were given up for lost know they are speaking to a friend. Jack Sargent's wife? That's an easy one. And over the ether flashed the one word which was to bring them help, food, clothes, ammunition, and the admiration of the whole Australian army. The signal master, a friend of Sargent's, okayed it. And the most pressing problem of the Timor commandos is well on the way to solution. Their commanding officer and second in command, Majors Alan Spence from Queensland and Bernie Callanan from Victoria, can now plan war with a vengeance. First, they choose a dropping ground. Help comes quickly. From Darwin, an Australian Hudson bomber takes off. Guided by the commando's radio, it heads for a rendezvous among the mountains. Now they should be approaching it, somewhere about here. There it is. The men of the 2nd Independent Company are waiting for them. And so for them too, like Kangaforce at Wow, the supplies come through. Men who have been cut off for 3 months at last get mail from home, parcels, and the amenities of life once more. Now I suppose we'll have to start shaving again. There are rewards, too, for their friends. Bright new silver florins for the natives. Real money instead of worthless Japanese paper printed on the spot. And the war goes on. The commandos use the famous Timor ponies to help them penetrate deeper into enemy-held territory. These Timor ponies are hardy. And so's this little adopted digger. At last, after 5 months fighting, they are to be relieved by the 2nd 4th Independent Company. A few stay behind. One of these, now their commander, Major Jeff Laidlaw, known to his men as the Bull, farewells his NCOs. Other old friends are there too. The Bull shakes his men by the hand. So long, Doug Tapper. Well done, Jerry Hare. They told you war was tough at Wilson's Promontory. Yeah, a man could bet his shirt on that. Men like Captain Baldwin fought with superb courage. These commandos were a new breed of soldier, born of the ruthless needs of 1942. On Timor, these Australian commandos converted a lost cause into a fighting cause. In the